Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Daily English Stories for Beginners. I am Lisa.
And I am Mike. We are so happy you are here with us today.
Mike, have you ever noticed how a simple sentence can change everything depending on how you say it?
Oh, absolutely, Lisa. Using the right words makes people want to help you.
That is so true. Today, we are talking about how to sound polite.
This is a very important topic. Many students know the words, but they might sound too direct.
Exactly. In English, being too direct can sometimes sound a bit rude, even if you don't mean to be.
Today, we will learn how to use could and would to make requests, and how to say no without hurting anyone's feelings.
We have some great stories for you today. We will talk about coffee shops, office work, and even awkward parties.
It is going to be a lot of fun and very useful for your daily life.
So sit back, relax, and let's improve your English listening skills together.
So, Lisa, let's start with my morning. I went to a new coffee shop today.
Oh, was the coffee good?
The coffee was excellent, but the man in front of me was very interesting.
Interesting. What do you mean?
Well, he was very direct. He walked up to the barista and said, "I want a large latte. Give me sugar."
Oh my goodness, that sounds a bit grumpy.
It did. The barista looked a bit surprised. She wasn't happy to help him.
I see. He used I want and give me. Those are very direct commands.
Yes, in his mind, he was just ordering coffee, but it sounded like he was shouting.
So, what did you do when it was your turn, Mike?
I wanted to be a good example. I smiled and said, "Could I have a medium cappuccino, please?"
That is much better. You used could I have?
Exactly. Could is a very soft and polite word. It turns a command into a request.
That is true. Could I have sounds like you are asking for permission, which is very polite in English.
And then I needed some extra napkins. I didn't want to just grab them.
What did you say?
I said, "Would you mind if I took some napkins?"
Would you mind? That is a classic phrase. It is very B1 level, but very easy to use.
It is. When we say, "Would you mind," we're asking if the other person is okay with our action.
Right. And remember, listeners, if someone asks, would you mind, and you are okay with it, you say, no, not at all.
Yes, it is a bit confusing for beginners. No means I don't mind, which means yes, you can.
English is funny like that, isn't it?
It really is. Anyway, the barista smiled at me and said, "Of course, take as many as you need."
See, being polite makes the other person feel good too.
It really does. It changes the whole energy of the situation.
I have a story about work too. Yesterday, I had a very busy day.
Oh no, were you stressed?
A little bit. I had a big report to finish, but my computer was acting strange.
That is the worst. Computers always break when we are busy.
Truly, I needed help from our IT guy, John, but John is always very busy too.
So you couldn't just say, "Fix my computer now," right?
No, if I said that, he would probably walk away.
So how did you ask him?
I went to his desk and said, "Hi, John, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you possibly help me with my computer later?"
Oh, I like that. You used "could you possibly." Adding possibly makes it even more polite.
Yes, it shows that I know he is busy. It gives him an out if he really cannot help.
That is a great point. Being polite is about respecting the other person's time.
Exactly. And John said, "I'm a bit busy now, but I can come by in 10 minutes.
That is wonderful. He said yes because you were kind.
But then I had another problem. I needed to borrow a stapler from Sarah.
Sarah, she's very protective of her desk, isn't she?
She is. She likes her things to stay exactly where they are.
So, "give me your stapler" was definitely not an option.
Not at all. I said, Sarah, would it be okay if I borrowed your stapler for a moment?
Would it be okay if that is another great one?
Yes, it is very similar to would you mind. It feels very gentle.
I agree. It's like you are checking the vibe before you take something.
Exactly. She said, sure, Lisa, just bring it back when you are done.
Perfect. You got the help you needed and the tool you needed because you were polite.
Mike, let's talk about the word could versus can. Many students ask me about this.
That is a very common question. Can you help me is okay, but could you help me is more formal.
Right. Can is for friends and family. Could is for strangers, bosses, or when you want to be extra nice.
I like to think of could as the magic word for adults.
That's a funny way to put it, but it's true.
Now, Lisa, what about saying no? That is the hardest part for many people.
Oh, I agree. Saying no feels scary. We don't want to be mean.
I had this problem last weekend. My neighbor, Mr. Wilson, asked me for a favor.
What did he want?
He wanted me to help him move a very heavy piano on Saturday morning.
Oh my goodness, a piano? That sounds like a lot of work.
It is, and I already had plans to visit my parents. I couldn't do it.
So did you just say, no, I'm busy?
No, that sounds a bit cold.
I see. So what did you say to Mr. Wilson?
I used a polite refusal. I said, "Oh, Mr. Wilson, I'd love to help, but I'm afraid I'm visiting my parents this Saturday."
I'm afraid I'm... That is such a useful phrase.
It really is. In this case, afraid doesn't mean you are scared of a ghost.
No, it means I'm sorry to tell you this.
Exactly. It softens the no. It makes it sound like you want to help, but you just can't.
And you started with, I'd love to help. That shows your heart is in the right place.
Yes, it's like a sandwich. A nice thought, the no, and then a reason.
Did he get angry?
Not at all. He said, "Oh, I understand. Family is important. I'll ask someone else."
Wow, that worked out perfectly.
It did. If I had just said no, he might have thought I was being lazy.
That's true. Giving a small reason helps people understand your situation.
What about you, Lisa? Have you ever had to say no to something fun?
Yes, last week my friend invited me to a party, but it was on a Tuesday night.
Tuesday. That is a work night.
Exactly. I need my sleep, Mike. I cannot stay up late on a Tuesday.
So, how did you tell your friend?
I said, that sounds like so much fun. I'd love to go, but I'm afraid I have to wake up very early for work.
There it is again. I'd love to, but...
Yes, it is my favorite way to refuse an invitation.
It's very polite. It tells the host that their party is a good idea, but the timing is bad for you.
Exactly. My friend said, no problem, Lisa. We can grab coffee this weekend instead.
See? Politeness keeps the friendship strong.
Mike, let's look at another situation. What if you are in a shop and something is too expensive?
Oh, that's a tough one. You don't want to say, "This is too much money."
Right, that sounds a bit aggressive.
If I am at a market, I might say, "Would you be able to give me a small discount?"
Would you be able to? That is very smooth, Mike.
Thank you. It's a way of asking if it is possible. It doesn't put pressure on the seller.
And if they say no, you can say, I see. I'll have to think about it. Thank you anyway.
Yes, "thank you anyway" is a great phrase to use when you don't get what you asked for.
It shows that you are still a polite person, even if the answer was no.
Lisa, I have a question. What if you are at a dinner party and someone gives you food you don't like?
Oh, like broccoli. I know you hate broccoli, Mike.
Hey, broccoli is okay, but I really don't like mushrooms.
Oh, mushrooms. They are everywhere. So if someone gives you mushroom soup, what do?
I shouldn't say, "This soup is gross."
Oh my goodness, no. That would be very rude to the cook.
I would say, "This looks lovely, but I'm afraid I don't really eat mushrooms. Could I just have some bread, please?"
That is very polite. You complimented the food first by saying, "This looks lovely."
Yes, always start with a compliment.
And then you used "could I just have" to ask for an alternative.
Exactly. It's much better than just sitting there and looking sad at your soup.
I agree. Most hosts want you to be happy. They just need to know what you need.
Let's talk about the word would some more. We use it for would you like.
Yes, would you like is the polite way to offer something.
Right. Instead of do you want water, we say would you like some water?
It sounds much more professional and kind.
And the answer is yes, please, or no, thank you.
Those are the basics, but they are so important.
Sometimes people forget please and thank you when they're trying to remember big words.
That's true, but in English, please and thank you are like the salt and pepper of conversation.
They make everything taste better.
They really do. Mike, do you have any more stories about requests?
Well, I have one about a library. I was trying to study, but two people were talking loudly.
Oh, that is so annoying. I hate it when people talk in the library.
I was a bit angry, but I knew I had to be polite.
So, what did you do? Did you say, "Shut up"?
No, I went over and said, "Excuse me, would you mind speaking a bit more quietly? I'm trying to study for an exam."
Excuse me is a perfect start.
Yes, it gets their attention in a nice way, and "would you mind" works again.
Did they stop talking?
They did. They said, "Oh, sorry, we didn't realize we were being so loud."
See, most people are not mean. They just don't realize they are causing a problem.
Exactly. If I had been rude, they might have argued with me.
That's a very good point. Politeness prevents arguments.
It makes life much smoother for everyone.
Mike, we have talked about could and would a lot. Let's think about may.
May is very formal, isn't it?
It is. May I is like the king of polite requests.
I usually hear "may I" in fancy restaurants or in a classroom.
Yes. May I use the restroom or may I see the menu?
For our listeners, "could I" is usually enough for daily life.
I agree. Could is the most common and useful one.
Mike, what if you are in a crowded place and you need to get past someone?
Oh, like on a bus or a train.
Yes, you are stuck and the doors are opening.
I would say, "Excuse me, could I get past you, please?"
That is much better than pushing.
Definitely. Pushing is never polite.
And if they move, you say, "Thank you so much."
Exactly. It's simple, but it works every time.
I think our listeners are getting a good idea of how this works.
I hope so. Remember, it's about the tone of your voice, too.
Yes, you have to sound friendly. If you say, "Could you help me?" with a mean face, it's not polite anymore.
That's true. A smile is the best part of any polite request.
Exactly. Mike, let's talk about one last situation, asking for a name.
Oh, when you forget someone's name, that is so awkward.
It is. You don't want to say, "What is your name again?"
That sounds like you didn't care the first time.
So I usually say, "I'm so sorry. Could you remind me of your name again?"
Could you remind me? That is brilliant.
It shows that it is my fault, not theirs.
I love that. "I'm so sorry" is a great way to start an awkward question.
It really is. Politeness is often about taking the blame to make the other person feel better.
That is very true, Mike. You are a very wise man.
I just try to be polite, Lisa.
Wow, Mike, we shared so many stories today. Let's think about the words we used.
That is a great idea.
Let's recap for our listeners.
The first one is could. We use it for polite requests. For example, could you help me?
And don't forget would. We use it in phrases like would you mind or would you like.
Would you mind is very special. Remember, if you are okay with the request, you say no, not at all.
Next we have I'm afraid. This is used to say no or share bad news politely.
Like, I'm afraid I can't come to your party. It's so much nicer than just no.
We also talked about excuse me. It is the perfect way to start a conversation with a stranger.
And I'd love to, but this is great for invitations. You show you are interested, but you explain why you can't go.
We also mentioned would it be okay if. This is a gentle way to ask for permission.
For example, would it be okay if I used your phone?
And finally, thank you anyway. Use this when someone cannot help you. It shows you still appreciate them.
These are such useful phrases. I hope you all try to use them this week.
Let's try to make one sentence together. Lisa, ask me for a favor.
Okay. Mike, could you possibly tell me a joke?
I'd love to, but I'm afraid I've forgotten all my jokes today.
See, that was a very polite no.
And I could say, I'll tell you one next time, I promise.
Perfect. You gave a reason and a future promise. That is 100% polite.
We have learned a lot today. Politeness is like a bridge that connects people.
I love that. A bridge of kindness and good English.
Well, that is all for today's episode of Daily English Stories.
We hope you enjoyed our stories about being polite. It was so much fun for us.
Now we have a homework question for you.
Tell us in the comments, what is a favor you asked for recently? How did you ask it?
Or tell us about a time you had to say no to someone. What did you say?
We love reading your comments. It helps you practice your English writing.
It really does. Don't be shy. We are all learning together here.
Exactly. English is a journey, and every small step is a victory.
Keep going, keep practicing, and most importantly, stay curious.
You are doing a wonderful job. We are very proud of you.
Until next time, be kind to yourself and be polite to others.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.